The rain was coming down in silver sheets that morning, drenching the city in cold despair. Cars rushed by, horns blaring, as people hurried to escape the storm. But amid all that noise, one small voice broke through, a trembling whisper that stopped Eleanor Gray, one of the city's most powerful CEOs, right in her tracks. She had just stepped out of her luxury car, her black heels splashing through shallow puddles, when she felt a gentle tug on her coat. She turned, annoyed at first, only to find a little girl, no older than 7, standing there, soaked to the bone, her small hands clutching a faded pink backpack. "Can you be my mom for just one day?" the girl asked, her lips trembling from the cold. Eleanor froze. The rain seemed to quiet for a moment. The world, so loud a second ago, fell eerily still. That one sentence struck a place in her heart she thought had long died. She had everything: wealth, power, success, but love, warmth, and connection had always escaped her. And now, staring into the wide, innocent eyes of this child, she felt something she hadn't felt in years: fear, empathy, and a strange ache deep in her chest. Eleanor knelt down, her eyes meeting the girl's. She wanted to say something, anything, but the words wouldn't come. The girl's face was pale, her shoes filled with water, and her small shoulders trembled under a thin sweater. "Where are your parents?" Eleanor finally managed to ask, her voice cracking slightly despite her usual composed tone. The girl pointed across the street toward a bench under a flickering streetlight. There, covered with a plastic sheet, lay a man, motionless. Eleanor's chest tightened as she realized what she was looking at. The man wasn't sleeping. For years, Eleanor had kept herself distant from emotions, from people, from pain. She believed feelings were weaknesses, remnants of a past she wanted to forget. But that morning, standing in the cold rain with a child begging her for warmth, all those walls began to crumble. Without a second thought, she wrapped her coat around the girl and guided her gently toward her car. "You'll catch a cold," she muttered, trying to sound indifferent, but her voice trembled. Inside the car, the girl sat quietly, watching the raindrops race down the window. Eleanor glanced at her reflection in the glass, her expensive makeup slightly smeared by rain, her eyes filled with something she didn't recognize anymore: compassion. "What's your name?" Eleanor asked softly. "Lily," the girl whispered, clutching her backpack tighter. "That's a beautiful name," Eleanor replied. "Do you have any family, Lily?" The girl shook her head. "Just Daddy, but he's sleeping now. He said Mommy will come one day." Eleanor's breath caught in her throat. Something inside her began to unravel. When they arrived at her penthouse, Lily's eyes widened. The walls were spotless, the floors gleaming, but there was no warmth, no laughter, no trace of a home, just a house. Eleanor fetched a towel and gently dried the girl's hair. "You must be hungry," she said, heading to the kitchen. Lily nodded. "Do you have pancakes?" she asked innocently. Eleanor froze again. Pancakes. The word hit her like a bullet from the past. Her late sister, Emma, used to make pancakes every Sunday morning before that terrible accident 15 years ago. Eleanor had been away on business when it happened, and she never forgave herself for not being there. Emma had a little daughter too, a baby she never got to see grow up. Shaking off the thought, Eleanor prepared a quick meal, though her hands trembled slightly. Lily ate quietly, her small fingers clutching the fork with both hands. "You have a nice home," she said between bites. "It's too big for just you." The innocent remark sliced through Eleanor like a knife. Yes, it was too big, too empty. For years she had filled it with awards, luxury, and silence. Now the sound of a child's spoon clinking against a plate felt like music. Later that night, as Lily fell asleep on the couch wrapped in a blanket, Eleanor noticed something glimmering around the girl's neck. A small silver necklace with a broken heart pendant. Her breath hitched. She knew that necklace. She had seen it before. She ran to her bedroom, opened a drawer, and pulled out a small jewelry box. Inside lay a matching pendant, the other half of the heart. Her vision blurred as tears filled her eyes. She clutched it in disbelief. It couldn't be. The broken halves matched perfectly. Eleanor collapsed onto the floor, the memories flooding back. Her sister Emma had worn that necklace every day. One half for her, one half for the daughter she adored. The daughter who disappeared after the accident. The child the authorities never found. Eleanor's trembling fingers brushed the pendant again, her heart pounding. "Lily," she whispered, voice shaking. "Lily?" That night, she didn't sleep. She sat beside the couch, watching the little girl breathe peacefully, her tiny hand curled under her cheek. Every minute that passed only confirmed what her heart already knew. This wasn't just a coincidence. This was fate giving her a second chance. The next morning, as sunlight filtered through the glass windows, Eleanor called her private investigator to confirm her fears and hopes. Hours later, the call came. Ms. Gray, it's true. The girl is your niece. She's Emma's daughter. Eleanor's knees gave out. Tears rolled down her cheeks, unstoppable. After 15 years of guilt, of running from her pain, she had found the last piece of her family, standing in front of her all along, asking her to be a mom for just one day. When Lily woke up, she saw Eleanor sitting on the couch, clutching the necklace. "You knew my mommy?" Lily asked softly. Eleanor smiled through tears. "She was my sister," she whispered. "And you're my family." The girl blinked, then climbed into her lap, hugging her tightly. "So, does that mean you can be my mom?" she asked, her small voice trembling. Eleanor hugged her even tighter. "Not just for one day, sweetheart," she said, her tears falling freely now. "For the rest of my life." The days that followed changed Eleanor forever. Her once silent home was now filled with laughter, drawings on the fridge and bedtime stories. The cold, distant CEO who once measured life by profits and deals now measured it by smiles and moments. Her company's employees began to notice the change too, her tone softer, her presence warmer. She started a foundation in Emma's name to help orphaned children find families. She called it the Lily Foundation, inspired by the little girl who healed her heart. One evening, months later, as the sun set over the city skyline, Eleanor sat on the balcony with Lily in her arms. The air was filled with golden light and the sound of distant church bells. "Mommy," Lily said softly, "do you think my old daddy can see us from heaven?" Eleanor smiled gently. "I think he's smiling right now, sweetheart, because he knows you're home." And in that moment, Eleanor finally understood. Life wasn't about what you owned or what you lost, but about who you found along the way. Sometimes love comes back to you in the most unexpected form. A small voice in the rain asking for warmth, and a necklace that reminds you that family never truly disappears. It just finds its way home again. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who believes in love, fate, and second chances. Don't forget to subscribe to Viral Heartbeats for more emotional stories that remind us how beautiful life can truly be.